or call 706-278-1622. And I'm Source 12 Chief Meteorologist Badger 4.
Radio 92.7.
We just started a family and we're already planning for the future. Michael Levy has helped pave the way to keep our financial future on track. He's local, he knows us, and cares about what's important to us. Don't put your future on hold. Call Michael Levy, 779-7755.
Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Rick is buying and selling a woman's best friend, diamonds. Stop in now and check out the wide selection from Chattanooga's premier jeweler, Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road in Chattanooga. Before you buy, let Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds create that special gift for you. Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road in Chattanooga.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric. You're our winner. Really?
You'll receive tickets for all three races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Good evening, and welcome to the Clutch with Keon Rose. If you can't tell, I'm not Keon Rose. I'm Nick LaFew, host of the Breakfast Blitz on Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Filling in for Keon tonight, as Sam says, he's on assignment. Like I was saying on Sam's show, before we went into some high school, or after we went into some high school football, we were talking a little bit about Tennessee. And as everything gets a little closer, you know, there's a lot more to talk about. Practice heating up. You're 17 days away right now from the first game. So we're going to talk a lot about college football. We're going to talk a lot about Tennessee because I'm in charge, and we're going to talk about Tennessee. Now, I teased a little bit on Sam's show about Jeremy Pruitt's cautious optimism, silent arrogance almost. I wouldn't say arrogance. Arrogance is the wrong word. But Jeremy Pruitt whispers around boosters and around camps at Tennessee with his quiet confidence that he feels like Tennessee has a good chance to defeat West Virginia on September 1st. Now, we talked about this a lot on my show on Saturday. We broke down Tennessee's schedule as a whole. I really want to focus on game one here because here's the important part. There's not many people around the country giving Tennessee a real shot in this game. The point spread's around 10. I think it's 9.5 right now. Here's why I think Jeremy Pruitt and company have a quiet confidence that they're going to be able to upset a top 20 team in week one. Now, here's why. If you look at the history of Jeremy Pruitt and what he's been able to do against teams that either want to air raid it out like West Virginia or even have a guy that's a pocket passer, he's done pretty well as a defensive coordinator. So, if I'm Jeremy Pruitt, I probably do feel pretty good. I know how to scheme those things. Air raid offenses are not the most complex of offenses. I think Jeremy Pruitt feels like if he goes into quarter two and he's seen what they do, he feels like he's probably going to be able to handle it as a defensive guy, calling those plays. Now, as I said Saturday, I think the real key for Tennessee to be able to upset a team like West Virginia is the ability to have ball control throughout the entire game. Tennessee's going to have to be able to run the football, guys, if Tennessee wants a chance to win the football game. If Tennessee is able to line it up against 3-3-5 stack that West Virginia likes to run on defense, you should be able to run the ball. And if Tennessee's able to run and have ball control, the best way, like I told Sam on Saturday, the best way to stop a prolific offense is to keep them off the field. If you are able to run the football, if you're not down by 2 possessions and you're able to just run, ground, and pound 3 yards in a cloud of dust, wear them out, you can win the ball game. Jeremy Pruitt's quiet confidence in the fact that his defense is going to be able to slow down. I'm not going to say stop, because they're not going to be able to stop West Virginia's offense, but slow them down enough because of the game plan and the position he's going to be able to put his players in defensively to be able to make plays. The key, and obviously we'll break down a lot more in detail probably here, honestly, on probably September 1st, the morning of the show, or the morning of the game. It's all going to be key on his pass rush. The DBs, as we know, are either not very good or young. So, Tennessee is going to have to develop a pass rush. Now, that being said, with the pass rush, read an interesting article on Fansided today about Tennessee's pass rush. Now, Fansided is a website, and it's, if you go to the Tennessee particular page, it's allfortennessee.com. There's an article by a gentleman named Caleb Calhoun, a little opinion piece about Tennessee football, and it says Vols. The headline is Vols pass rush may be college version of 2015 Broncos. That was my reaction. Silence. When I look at that article title, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. All right. You have guys, that defense was unbelievable. It was a team, that was really good defensively. Well, Tennessee's making a big switch, and they're going to the 3-4 defense, and that's kind of basically what happened in Denver in 2015. So, interesting comparison to me. I read through the article. I was like, well, this is interesting. I really am curious as to why he thinks this. Why Mr. Caleb Calhoun thinks this. Tennessee moving 2 linemen to linebacker. Jonathan Kongbo and Darrell Taylor, excuse me. Now, Caleb states that they had flashes and they were really good last year. He said both guys were solid. There was nothing solid about that defense in 2017. Not a thing. So that's interesting to me that people think that, or that at least Caleb thinks that this that this Tennessee defense has guys who were solid. That team was historically bad against the run. And honestly, if they didn't get gashed in the running game, they probably would have been historically bad against the pass. But teams didn't even have to throw the ball against Tennessee because all they had to do was run. So to say that those guys on the front 7 were solid, I don't know about that. That's a stretch. Now, do I think guys like Tracy Rocker and Kevin Shearer and Jeremy Pruitt are going to be able to make them a lot better and maybe live up a little bit more to their 4- and 5-star billing that they came into Tennessee with? Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Do I think that they can be compared to one of the best defenses in football history, or at least the best pass rushes in football history? No, I don't know. To compare Jonathan Kongbo and Darrell Taylor to Darrell Taylor, I'm going to call him that for a long time because that's what I thought it was for 2 years. No, Darrell Taylor and Jonathan Kongbo to Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. Hey. That's bold. Talk about an interesting take to have. That is bold, Caleb. I like it, but it's bold. Interesting. That's very interesting to me. I don't know that can necessarily be the case. I really don't. I don't know how you can say from what you've seen from them, which in in 2017 wasn't much. And you can't say you've seen it in practice. Right? I mean, what have you seen in practice in the 10 to 15 minutes you get to watch that's going to make you think that they could be compared to one of the greatest pass rushes in football history? Interesting to me. But he does make some good points in the article. Okay. The 3-4 is dependent on those outside backers being able to get a pass rush. It's also dependent on your 3 defensive linemen to be able to eat up space. So those guys can pass rush. Okay. So who you got on the defensive line if you take 2 of the guys who were solid last year? Who you got on the defensive line? You got Shy Tuttle coming back at defensive tackle, which is huge. However, here's the thing about Shy Tuttle. Shy Tuttle hasn't been healthy since he's been in Knoxville. So that has me wondering if he can even, do anything. Obviously, Emmett Gooden coming in from Independence Community College in Kansas could be huge for Tennessee. But my goodness, to compare guys to that defense, you have Shy Tuttle and Alexis Johnson at defensive tackle. Okay. If they can stay healthy, they could be some space eaters and some very, very, very good defensive tackles in a 3-4. I believe that. I completely believe that. I really do. Now you got to go to end. What can you do there if you take away Darrell Taylor and Jonathan Kongbo? Kyle Phillips, maybe? Jordan Allen? And what do you do at end? So I mean, I don't know how this is necessarily possible. So that's tough to me. Not to mention, he says that Alexis Johnson could mirror what Malik Jackson did in 2015. Malik Jackson got a lot of money because of what he did in 2015. So that's interesting. So, pass rush, very important, obviously, going into week 1 against West Virginia. I still don't see it. I don't see this defense being able to do that. I mean, again, you're comparing them to one of the greatest defenses, in at least pass rush wise, in football history. And the reason the pass rush is so good on that team in 2015 was because the defensive backs were good too. Tennessee doesn't have that. At least to the extent where Tennessee, they may have it, but we don't know about it yet if they do have it. Because if they do, they're unproven. Who's going to step in and do it? Sean Schamberger? McQuill Osborne? A freshman? Bryce Thompson? Alontae Taylor? We don't know. We don't know anything about those guys. We saw, Marquil Osborne a good bit last year. Sean Schamberger in mop, not necessarily mop up duty, but once the season was over. I just don't see this defense being able to be that good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're outstanding. But I don't see it. Then, obviously, you have to move to the other side of the football for Tennessee, too, because we talked about this, Sam and I did a little bit on his show in his last segment in the 7 o'clock hour. Quarterback. What the hell does Tennessee do at quarterback? I feel like I sound like a broken record because I talk about this every week, but what do you do? Keller Christ. We're going to talk about this a little bit in the next segment too, but Keller Christ was named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award list. We don't even know if Keller Christ is a starter. So how is he going to be named to that? But we're going to talk about that in the next segment. We'll tease there. But Keller Christ comes into Tennessee, learning a new offense. And, I give the update every Saturday on the quarterback situation and what I think it's going to be. I feel like every week I go back and forth between who it's going to be. I talked with my good friend Thomas Duggins last week about it, and he's adamant that it's going to be Jarrett Garantano. I don't know. I feel like Jarrett Garantano provides you the flash. Jarrett Garantano provides you maybe a little bit more athleticism to be able to do a few more things, right? Right? He's able to maybe run a little bit. He's got a cannon of an arm. But from what we saw last year, Jarrett Garantano wasn't the most accurate. He didn't turn the ball over a ton. But what you do know is that you're not going to have turnovers, right? You're not going to have turnovers as frequently from a guy like Keller Christ. A guy like Keller Christ, who went 11-2, I believe, as a starter at Stanford before losing his job due to injury and things like that. Keller Christ is a gamer. Keller Christ is a winner. If I believe I know anything about Jeremy Pruitt, he's going to take one thing from a Nick Saban. That's I want the winner. Jarrett Garantano, obviously you get, and I'm going to go back and is Jarrett Garantano a winner? Can Jarrett Garantano be the guy? Jarrett Garantano, week 1 last year against Georgia Tech in the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic down in Atlanta, Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, was caught on national television throwing a hissy fit because he didn't get to play. Now, to be fair, Butch Jones and his staff probably did tell him that he was going to play some in that game or split the reps early at least with Quentin Dormady, and he didn't. So maybe there's a reason for him to be upset, but here's what I want to compare it to. Jalen Hurts. He doesn't get pulled in week 1 or he doesn't play in week 1. He plays all the way through the season. It's game 5 for 14 for them because they only played 14 games. Jalen Hurts from Alabama played in game 14, the national championship against SEC opponent Georgia. He has started every game, played almost all the meaningful minutes for Alabama all season long. It's halftime. Nick Saban says, I need a change at quarterback. Give me Tua. Tua Tagovailoa comes in, and Georgia was not ready. As Kevin Hart would say, Georgia was not ready. And then right there, that's where it happened to me, that's the difference. Jalen Hurts is a championship-level quarterback. Whether you think he's as talented as Tua Tagovailoa or not, because of his attitude. I don't know if it's the staff that was there at UT at the point, but did Jarrett Garantano have that attitude? No. You don't want that attitude. Now, that being said, again, you don't know how much he's changed going into this 2018 season under leadership that's a lot different and coaching that's a lot different. So I'm not at practice every day. I'm not Jeremy Pruitt. I'm not Tyson Helton. I'm not seeing these guys throw the ball every day. I'm not Chris Winkie. What I want to know is Jarrett Garantano's attitude changed? The players love him, but does he give you the best chance to win? And I don't know that at this point. And I'm not at practice every day, so I can't make that decision. That's not my job. I don't get paid the big bucks to make those decisions. Jarrett Garantano has to prove to his coaching staff and honestly, really to the fan base that he's the leader, that he is the guy to me before he gets that job. And he obviously he's not going to be able to prove it to the fans before that, but he's got to prove it to the coaching staff that he's the guy that can lead the team. Right? Like, that's the important part. So, obviously we're going to see. I still think, like I told Sam and like we said on my show Saturday and here tonight, I think both of them are going to see playing time. I think both of them are going to see the field against West Virginia. So I think that will, that's going to be very interesting. Now, on the flip side, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to break down, obviously, that Johnny Unitas list of the Golden Arm. This is going to be fun to talk about. And then we're also going to break down a story out of Maryland, along with maybe some Atlanta Braves baseball if we have time. You're listening to The Clutch with Keon Rose. I'm Nick with you filling in. This is Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Fingerprint evidence helped to put a suspected home invader behind bars. A woman said that she was tased and she had her shirt ripped off by a man who climbed in her window. The police used their fingerprint technology to capture prints from the windowsill, and they named Mr. Theodore Laughlin as their culprit. The state is going to seek the death penalty for 3 men that prosecutors say murdered Bianca Horton, who is set to testify against Cortez Sims, who is accused of shooting Horton's daughter, paralyzing her. The state named Andre Greer, Charles Shelton, and Courtney High, who are all part of the Athens Park Bloods RICO case. Parking situation downtown's about to get a little bit better. The parking lot on King Street, which used to be reserved for city employees, is going to be renovated and opened up to the public, managed by Republic Parking. And a special lunch rate of $2 for parking at River Pier Parking Garage was announced. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Chattanooga weather.
Expect fair skies to continue through your nighttime. Not as mild overnight. Lows a little closer to 70. Now for your Thursday, partly cloudy. Still mainly dry. On the hot side, though, highs 90 to 92 with scattered showers and storms rolling in on Friday. Highs dropping into the 80s. Control your diabetes with the help of Hamilton Diabetes and Endocrinology Center. Now in Dalton and Ringgold. For more, call 706-278-1622. And I'm Sourcing 12 Chief Meteorologist Pat Report.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart. not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. Signalvoicetn.com.
Hey, dude, check this out. Have you ever seen one so big?
Whoa, look at the size of that.
Look at this little itty-bitty one.
Wow, that's really small.
They have them big, small, and everything in between. You'll always find the biggest variety of knives at the knife shop at Frost Cutlery in Ottawa. We're talking about over 40 brands of knives, including Benchmade, WR Case & Sons, Booker, and all the Frost Cutlery brands. Now, Sam, you've been to the cutlery shop. Is it amazing?
Spectacular. The knife shop at Frost Cutlery in Ottawa. They have knives, swords, kitchen knives, ammo, and reloading supplies, plus survival gear.
It's the knife shop at Frost Cutlery, open 7 days a week. Hey, girls, you're going to love this. We're going to the knife shop. Hey, let's not tell them they have ammo and loading supplies. The knife shop at Frost Cutlery, open 7 days a week. You'll always find the biggest variety of knives. You're going to love the knife shop at Frost Cutlery in Ottawa. The knife shop.
And tell them David Toulis sent you.
Do you hear that? That, my friend, is not what you're thinking. That is the new 2018 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Yeah, Indian. Indian motorcycle is more than a bike. It's an experience, an American icon. And Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga is the only place you'll find their new 2018 line. Are you ready to ride? Join the club. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign, 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation. 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
Chattanooga Paint and Decorating would like to remind you it's so hot out there. And guess what? Your deck is taking a beating. It's probably starting to show wear. If you're hosting friends, get your deck entertainment ready with a fresh coat of stain and protect it from heat, sun, and rain with a quality sealant. If you want to get to work, Chattanooga Paint and Decorating want to help you. For exterior paint, stains, sealants, and supplies, stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today on Hicks and Pike across from Valvoline or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio.
Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7
Nuga Radio.
Welcome back to the Clutch with Keon Rose. I am obviously not Keon Rose. I'm Nick LeFew, filling in for Keon. This is Nuga Radio, 92.7 FM. And listen live on NugaRadio.com. Check us out on Facebook Live right now on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM's page, along with being live on YouTube again on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM's page on YouTube. You can also stream us live on the app. We spent the first segment kind of breaking down an article written about Tennessee's defense, how good they were, or supposed to be apparently, and then talked a little bit about position battles. Okay, I want to step away just a second from just the Tennessee talk and move a little bit more to general college football. Again, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. Its watch list came out. Now, to call this a watch list, I'm pulling it up here, is really quite liberal, to say the least. It's quite long. Now, I don't know that I've seen a watch list this long for an award. Okay, and I talked about in the last segment, I talked about how Keller Christ was named to that watch list, which to me is just hilarious in itself because the guy's not won the quarterback battle at Tennessee. So I don't know how you put somebody on the watch list who is not a solidified number one. Okay. Interesting. That's not the most interesting part. Most interesting part of this whole thing. You look at the list, there's 48 quarterbacks on here. I counted them. 48. There's like 130 teams in FBS football. Why in the hell did you name 48 people to a watch list? Now, this award is a pretty prestigious award. You look at past winners of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. It's no Maxwell Award. It's no, Heisman. But Peyton Manning won the award in 97. This is the list from the website for the awards website, whatever. Carson Palmer, 2002 from USC. Eli Manning, Ole Miss, 2003. Brady Quinn, 2006 from Notre Dame. Matt Ryan, Boston College, 2007. Colt McCoy, Andrew Luck, Marcus Mariota, Connor Cook, Deshaun Watson, and last year's winner, Mason Rudolph. Now, those are some pretty good quarterbacks. You're talking about Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer. Carson Palmer, very, very solid college career. Very solid NFL career. Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Brady Quinn, yeah. Matt Ryan, top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. Hands down. Colt McCoy, didn't really do it in the NFL. However, he was really good, took a team to a national championship game. Andrew Luck, okay with that one. Marcus Mariota, wonderful at Oregon. Connor Cook, he was great at Michigan State, hasn't really panned into a pro career. Deshaun Watson, national champion. Mason Rudolph, gunslinger from Oklahoma State in that air raid offense. Outstanding. Okay, so good, very solid list of winners, right? Then I look, I think they really just wanted to CYA. They wanted to cover themselves right here by listing 48 quarterbacks to the watch list. 48. Okay, I'm going to look at some of the guys who I think are solid. Okay, Jake Bentley, South Carolina. Should be named to a quarterback award watch list. He's a really good quarterback. Jake Browning at Washington, Kelly Bryant at Clemson. As I continue to scroll down, Nick Fitzgerald, Mississippi State, Will Greer, West Virginia. Just keep going down here. I'm still trying to find guys I know. Drew Lock, Missouri. Good. Yep. Trace McSorley, Penn State. Yep. Mackenzie Milton, UCF. Don't know what he's going to be able to do without Scott Frost, but had a great season last year. Should be named to the watch list. Shea Patterson, Michigan. Malik Rozier, Miami. Kyle Shermer, Vanderbilt. Jarrett Stidham, Auburn. Khalil Tate, Arizona. Brandon Wimbush, Notre Dame. Okay, there's just some solid guys that have histories and that are very, very solid quarterbacks. Okay, so those I'm fine with. What is that, like 15? Could have left off a lot of these guys. David Blau. I have no clue who that is. He is apparently the quarterback at Purdue, but then again, Keller Chris is on this list, and we don't know if he is the quarterback at Tennessee, so don't know about that. And KJ Carter-Samuels is obviously a name that people know. He transferred out. I can't remember where he was from, but KJ Carter-Samuels now plays at Colorado State under Mike Bobo. Christian Chapman, San Diego State. We got a UAB quarterback on here. Okay. We got an Arkansas State quarterback on here. We got Buffalo's quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Gardner Minshew, who's Washington State's quarterback, hadn't played a game. Hello. He hasn't played a game. Luke Falk was the quarterback who's now on the Titans roster. Gone in the NFL. Gone. Okay. Louisiana Tech's quarterback's on here. Middle Tennessee, Brent Stockstill. Brent Stockstill's a really good quarterback. Don't know that he should be on a watch list for the best quarterback in the country. Clayton Thorson. A lot of people think Clayton Thorson's going to be really good, right? I mean, he's Northwestern's quarterback. He's high on a lot of people's draft boards. And he might be a good guy. Okay, that's fine. Manny Wilkins, Arizona State. I don't know. Marshall's quarterback's on here. Alex Thompson. I just don't know. Brett Rippion's on here. Boise State. A lot of people high on Brett Ripien. I just don't see it, man. There's the reason that this is humorous to me is the fact that some of these guys, obviously, I don't know if some of these guys are the starter at their school yet. The fact that Keller Chris is put on this list blows my mind. Like, who are these people that are picking this? I mean, it's great. Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Educational Foundation, which provides assistance to underprivileged and deserving student athletes throughout Maryland and Kentucky. Awesome. Awesome. I'm not going to knock the foundation, but for the love of God, why do we put 48 quarterbacks on a watch list? That would be like saying, okay, let's think of a prestigious award. The Bolitnikoff Award, wide receiver. If I listed 48 wide receivers, you're not going to know 5 of them. There is no reason to put 48 people on a position. The Outland Trophy, offensive line. Or excuse me, defensive line. Why? The Butkus Award, linebacker. You're not putting 48 linebackers on there. You're not doing it. It looks like this is just a reason to pump these guys' egos. I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't see the Maxwell Award, the Heisman. You don't see all those awards coming out with 48 on a watch list. If you think about basketball, college basketball, do you think the Naismith watch list at the beginning of the year for the best basketball player, you think it has 48 people on it? No. And that's talking about where you have 5 guys a team that could land on it. You're talking about 1 guy per team that could technically win this award. So you're thinking maybe 130 guys that could be on this. And the guy for Tennessee, why you'd put a Tennessee quarterback on here blows my mind. Like, I'm at a loss for this. I don't understand. So to me, the fact that Keller Chris, as a Tennessee fan and as a Tennessee alum, this watch list has lost all credibility to me, because you put a guy on here who doesn't even have the job. Okay, so that rant's over. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna digress, because that was just a rant. I saw that earlier today, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, why are there this many guys on here? Because I saw an article on a 247 website. It was Tennessee's website, Go Vols 247, and it said Keller Christ named to a watch list for this award, and I was like, what? And so I read the article. Then I went to the website, looked at the whole list of all 48 quarterbacks. And, Tennessee fans are over here going, oh my gosh, Keller Christ, they must know something that we don't know. Well, Keller Christ is one of 48 quarterbacks listed on this thing. So how credible can this thing be? We'll move on. A lot of news coming out of University of Maryland. If you're not aware of the situation, there's a big scandal going on there that is more important than football. A young man passed away this offseason and he was a football player. DJ Durkin is the head coach at University of Maryland. Jordan McNair was the individual, the player who passed away during an off-season workout from a heat stroke. Wallace Lowe, who was the president of Maryland, issued obviously an apology and everything for the situation. In Lowe's words, he said, very important for him to hear and for everyone to hear that the university is accepting legal and moral responsibility. Well, no. You think? You should. A kid died. We're not talking about mistreatment of players, and we're not talking about concussion protocol. We're not talking about a kid died on your watch, DJ Durkin. On your watch, because your strength and conditioning coach didn't treat his players the right way. DJ Durkin is still employed by the University of Maryland. That strength and conditioning coach is not. As well, he should not be. But DJ Durkin's still there now. I don't think DJ Durkin makes it through this. You know, Keon and I have talked a couple of weeks ago about the Urban Meyer thing at Ohio State, which we still don't know the answer to. This offseason had been relatively quiet until the summer got here. Then we have domestic abuse at Ohio State. We have a kid dying at Maryland. At what point do we say enough? That enough is enough. Obviously, two completely different situations, both handled very poorly. Let's start with the most one in the news right now, and that's DJ Durkin. If you are DJ Durkin, you are the leader of that program. You are in charge. It is your responsibility. And a kid died because your strength and conditioning coach didn't handle things the right way. Ohio State. Urban Meyer, your coach, one of your coaches, is abusing his wife. And you kept him for 2.5 years. And you allegedly knew about it. Culture problems. Different kind of culture problems, but they're culture problems in college football. And this needs to change. One, it's at the Ohio State situation, it's win at all costs and keep your friends and your family close to your vest. Did we not learn anything from Penn State? Have we not learned the handling of these situations? Baylor. Now a different type of situation at Maryland. It's time these coaches, these administrators, are held responsible for what's going on at their programs. It's one thing to say that you mishandle a coaching hire. It's one thing to say that you handled the firing of a coach, the money. But you're talking about lives in different aspects, but you're talking about lives. You're talking about a young man who is no longer on this earth because of mishandling of off-season workouts. You're talking about a woman whose life is ruined because nobody said anything. It's unfathomable to me how we still in this world today don't hold people accountable. Things will change. These stories will blow over. But does anything really change? Does anything change going forward in the handling of these college programs? I don't know. You know, as a guy who loves college sports and supports them financially, monetarily, I give money to my school. I'm a donor. But that doesn't change the fact that there are some things that just aren't right. And if those things happen as donors and as fans, you have to stand up for what's right and not necessarily what's best for your winning product on the field. DJ Durkin's a really good football coach. Urban Meyer's one of the best football coaches. It doesn't change the fact that these situations were handled incorrectly and neither one of these gentlemen should still be employed by their university. And yet, on August 15th, they both are. Should hear something soon about the Urban Meyer thing, but the fact that it's taken them this long just makes me think that they're finding ways to keep the man. I would be shocked at this point if Urban Meyer is not walking the sidelines in the horseshoe this year. DJ Durkin, don't know. I don't know as Maryland how you could keep him. But I said that about Ohio State too. It's so sad that this is what we've come to, that you spend as fans so much money to see your programs run this way. And I'm, you know, I just, it's tough to understand, you know, everybody always says those, you know, famous sayings, nobody wants to see how the sausage is made. I get it. You're right. You're right. But it shouldn't be like this. At some point, morality has to come in. Morality has to be the reason that we do things, not winning. And obviously in this day and age, the money's there because of winning or losing. You either make it or you're fired because you either win or you lose. But these scandals are starting to pop up way too much in different aspects. You got, obviously, at Maryland, one thing with a kid dying. You got Baylor. You got Ohio State, Penn State. Prior, you had back in the 80s the money issues with SMU and other Texas schools in the old Southwest Conference. These things, it's repeating itself. So these things are not changing. This is a fluid situation. Obviously, I'll be talking about it more on Saturday with the Breakfast Blitz at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on Nougat Radio 92.7 FM. This has been The Clutch with Keon Rose, Nick LeFew filling in. I hope you enjoyed our show tonight. I hope everyone has a great night. And we'll join you tomorrow night from Finley Stadium, Keon and I, for the Notre Dame Baylor football game at the Earlinger Kickoff Classic. Have a great night, everyone.
David Tillis. I made the move 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nougat Radio.
92.7. 3, 2, 1.
Chatter, Nougat Radio.